This is a story for those who wished that they could truly read between the lines of the book they were reading and see the world of the story through the eyes of the author. For those who wished that they could make nonfiction from fiction. For those who wished that dreams were true. This is a story of a group of wayward friends who came together from the far reaches of two worlds to come together and to help make dreams reality. This is Hazeltown Story. Hello and welcome to Hazeltown Story episode 25. We are going to continue where we left off last episode. Just to kind of give a brief kind of synopsis of what happened. It's basically after had some run-ins with we had Elmis go ahead and do some investigation of the photos that they had taken of Sophie, and found that there were some interesting things going on with them. Also, Iravia had a interesting encounter with something at her hotel. And basically we kind of, come back to, I think I explained it in the beginning, but basically coming back to basically have that meeting that was actually planned and not the kind of accidental or kind of off the cuff one they did last time. With Sophie at the publishing house. So, just to also reiterate who we have this session, we have, of course, the same people. This is the start of a new session, but we still have the same players. We have Carnival playing Elmis Graner, who is a kind of technomancy expert, the one of the group. Basically kind of fills with all things tech. We have Deathmaster 780 playing Bob B., who is basically kind of a dealer in all things kind of under the table. Kind of a bit of a shade elemental, like your shady elemental, I guess. And then we have TorpidTypist playing Iravia, the kind of boisterous brawler cow who will get into all sorts of trouble, as we found out these last mini episodes. So in this particular session, I don't have anything that I want to call out. Although we did have a much smoother session than we have last time in regards to network connection. There was a few cases where we had some weird mic issues that unfortunately I can't really fix. But I believe that's not going to show up until the next session, or the next episode. I don't think it should be in this episode, but if you run into or hear anything weird, unfortunately, there is not much I can really do about that. So yeah, I don't think that there's anything else I need to bring up. So with that, I might as well just bring you, get you along to the episode itself instead of me, fumbling over my tongue like I usually do. Yep. Here it is. Yeah. Let's just go. We're going to start this session. Basically, it's a new day. Everyone had their events basically last night, or however you want to phrase it. It's the next day. It is the day of when you all were going to meet up with Olin and Sophie, the secretary. And so you all, before you actually meet up, do you want to just go to the actual publishing house, or do you want to kind of discuss beforehand?
I would want to debrief beforehand.
It depends on who makes contact with me.
So at this point, that means that Elmis is probably going to go and try and bring over
If you come get me, sure. Otherwise, I'll just go for the normal time.
Yeah, so Elmis is going to go pick up Iravia, so we all head over there to the coffee shop.
All right. So let's just say you all meet up at the Oak and Hazel Coffee House, which is where you initially met. So you are all at this coffee shop. You all meet at a table, and there you're at.
So I forget, is our contract a per DM, or are we getting paid a flat fee?
What?
For our job.
Yeah, we were hired to find out if this secretary is who they say they are.
I would probably say that it is, let's say, per diem.
Oh, well, we could milk this for days, if not weeks.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought we were just paid a flat rate.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking we were paid a flat rate.
Let's
Otherwise,
say for the most part, let's say most of your pay is flat. Although if you do get some compensation if it goes over. Although if Theron's a little suspicious that you're doing something else, your pay might be not as. It might not be a direct per diem, but you will be compensated if it takes extra.
I mean, I only met her for a few minutes, but besides the fact that she was an extremely capable secretary, I didn't see anything that weird.
Okay, at this point, Elmis will flash open the photograph and then. So, yes, she didn't look that weird, but either her or something that's around her is giving off lots of weird magic nonsense.
Oh, is this conventional photography or Curlian photography?
This is ecto photography.
Oh, well, that's not good. Do you think she's possessed?
We don't know enough yet, but from what I can tell, I doubt it's possession and more for her herself.
I don't know. She felt real weird when I shook hands, but okay. You ever just get like just bad vibes?
Well, yes, but but that's normal.
Yeah, I got that when I shook hands with her.
Do you get normal vibes when you shake hands with people?
I mean, yes.
Look,
all I'm saying is you don't normally get a weird feeling in your bones when you shake hands.
Oh, well, I guess if we have the photo here, and the photo proves that there is some sort of ectoplasmic energy around her, that's our proof. We can turn this in and get paid. Good job. I say, giving a thumbs up.
Did it. Mission accomplished.
I know you don't think it's going to actually be that easy, right?
Well, this is a legitimate photograph. You're not faking this or anything for money or something like that, right?
No, remember
staring into your soul.
I took this photograph. I took this photograph when you were in the thing.
Also, to just another thing is that when you took the photograph with the way that your device also has it, you also have a little capsule that also has all the essentially the data of all the magical forces that it was able to detect. Basically you have readings.
An ectospectrometer.
Yes.
Essentially.
It just did a quick aura read. It's fine.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, did I recognize the voice in the phone call?
No, you didn't.
Okay.
Well, let's see.
Oh, that is a question. Torpid, are you telling does Iravia tell us about the phone call thing or not?
And it was just an angry telemarketer. Why should we tell you guys about the phone call?
Okay, I figured that was what was going to happen, but I just want to make sure.
Why would she tell you? Nothing happened. It was just an angry telemarketer.
Lolo, my character is a technomancer and also has some skill. Can I look at the ectospectrometer readings and try to make sense of them?
At the moment, you probably do not have any sort of device to, at least it would be something out of the ordinary for you to carry a device that would be able to read it.
Well, he has the photo, though. The photo with readings. Can I make sense of these readings?
Essentially, you have basically the equivalent of a Polaroid in a capsule. Basically, you have a Polaroid in an SD card.
Yeah, no, I thought I printed out, if you're going to visit, I probably thought of a printout of the readings to give to the.
It's not so that would be. You could print out some So I was going to say, I think this is something that you can't exactly print out.
Okay, so it's not like I can print out
It's like a think of it like a 3D model.
Well,
okay.
You could take a snapshot of the 3D model, but it's not something.
So what I'm guessing is, from the photograph, that even though it shows an ectoplasmic reading, the shape of the tendrils, their thickness, composition, color, etc., none of that is useful to us.
At the moment, you would just see something is there.
Okay. All right. Yeah, this is beyond my pay grade. I'm not an expert in this. Is that because the camera isn't sophisticated enough, or we don't know how to read the data?
You don't know how to read the data.
Okay,
And
well, let's go hire. I guess they
did,
gave us a per diem with expenses. We could go hire someone who's able to make sense of this photograph.
we tried that. That was kind of the stuff that
Oh.
happened when your signals started coming in and out. Is that
Oh,
getting
okay.
this data
Well,
was
then
us going through that entire thing.
Yeah, is that how you came up with the forest creature plot?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So she's some kind of forest vampire who's here to suck out psychic energy.
Well, so basically, as of now, you know that there is a local legend around that. You don't exactly know what the exact nature of it is.
Also, you only know that if... Actually, I don't know how much about Elmis.
There's a legend.
I was going to say, because you started off weirdly, Bobby's not here yet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, we're short Bob, aren't we?
Yeah.
Do we know when Bob's showing up?
Eh.
In a bit.
Bob works on Bob time.
Okay. Well, if there's a legend of a forest creature, how did you find out this information about the forest creature?
Went to the library, talked to our contacts there. I spent almost about 6 hours poring over a bunch of books from the library.
And that sounds like a better time than my night.
Oh, what did you have?
I just got a really angry telemarketer.
That took 6 hours?
Yeah, no, 6
They
hours.
were really angry.
No, I meant spending the night.
Huh.
I was just, chilling at the motel, and I just got a really angry phone call. And they kept asking for my information, just like, who are you? So I figured, probably a pissed off telemarketer.
Okay. I
That's
recommend
a lot of static. They really should have worked on their line.
I know a good fix for that. You expatriate every 3 months.
Oh, okay.
Well, so
Whatever
if you
that
found out the
means.
rumors of this forest creature, should we report this to some sort of authority?
We are the authority.
No, we aren't.
Really?
So I will say, if you were to report it to someone, you would probably either report it to Theron,
buddy.
or you do technically have a contact on the
buddy.
Yeah, essentially, you do have a contact with the kind of, not quite police, but the kind of protective service of the area. Though whether or not they would just, if you came in and say, "Hey, there's a ghost,"
Well, we have a
they
photo
might
of
not
it.
help you. You do, but also they would not be like equipped to deal with that. They would kind of look at it as like, okay.
So if it is a psychic vampire, it just wanders around eating people's souls.
Yeah, because it's a legend, but it's not exactly something that's a common occurrence.
Well, I'm also assuming it's not illegal to be a ghost, considering that one of the members of this town is a ghost.
It is not, but also it is incredibly uncommon.
Well, we're all uncommon.
But it is like super duper rare. Like, as in, Bibli is likely the only one, and she is kept very much under wraps.
Well,
You happen to know about her, but not
is
the
it too
entire.
forward me to think we should get these two together? I mean, that's not like, terminus, is it?
It's not.
Okay.
I mean, it's not. It just feels like we should probably do that at last resort. Maybe we could ask our buddy to just have some people stationed in case things get hairy. But I figure at this point, our best plan is just to at least give the editor information, and then have a backup plan when things go sideways.
Well, yeah, I would think just giving him this information would be, he asked for proof, and this is what we found.
We do have a proper meeting set up, but I would like to meet her again.
All right, well, I suppose we can go again. I never did get my interview for my art.
Yeah, they just kind of left you sitting there. It was really weird.
Yeah, they just kind of blew me off. Like, I shake my fist angrily. My sense of expression will not be repressed.
I know. Where's the professionalism? Am I right?
I'm literally angry with rage, I say, expressing my normal blank face.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
what a
then.
bunch of fuckers.
I will drink my 8th bottomless cup of coffee. And then I think I'm ready to go.
All right, so you're all essentially done over there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
All right. So Bobby, I take it you just want to meet over at the publishing place?
No, this is the point when Bobby shows up.
Okay.
Really? We're
It's the reason he went to get Lila.
Oh, okay. So
Oh,
you
hey.
okay? So Lila is here as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
Bobby just comes in, looks at the group at the table, and says, "Well, this looks like a bunch of ill intentions were happening here.
Fucking took you long enough.
There was traffic."
Uh-huh.
that happens.
So Lila just kind of steps up. So you all found stuff?
Okay, and Elvis will give over basically produce the camera and not the camera, the photo and the tube of like weird supernatural readings.
Yep. Um. So Lila will kind of take the photo and take a look at it. Is like, all right. Well, you got readings for it. Um. So um. So you did you? So I take it you got a photo of her. You all met her, correct?
No,
Yes, sort of.
you didn't.
I mean, I
Like,
saw her.
Elmis
yeah, you
offered
saw
a
her.
picture of her, so she's aware of Elmis.
Look, I shook hands with her. I talked with her. She's weird.
I
You-
talked to her too.
Yeah.
So you got something off her, right?
No.
Define something off her.
So when went ahead and met her at that party, she was giving off something.
You ever just
It,
feel something wrong in your bones when you meet
yeah,
someone? Yeah, that happened when I shook hands with her. It was I don't know, bad vibes, bad vibes.
yeah, that's kind of what I got as well.
She also gave me a really angry look and started asking me who I was, which I still don't understand, but
Why
Well,
would
I
she
just
do that?
I don't know. What do you think I
I
am, psychic?
Lila just kind of looks at you and is like, oh, okay. Like that's weird, but okay.
Yeah, we got into it a bit. May have disturbed the entire office, possibly why our buddy here didn't get the interview, but you know,
Huh.
Very unprofessional.
incredibly unprofessional.
Huh. So what is your plan of action now?
Say hi?
Bobby was mentioning that you had an interview set up.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the original thing before we decided to just, go and visit ahead of time.
Okay. Well, probably should. Let me think. Probably should have at least another interview. And don't know if maybe. And she kind of points her off. Maybe you might not be the best person to kind of get in get the most direct, but maybe someone else to see if they have someone who has not had more direct contact with her, just to see what they feel.
I don't know what's wrong with me. What's
Well, she already knows you. You've already have a close encounter with her. Someone else might not have.
okay?
I think all of us met her,
Bobby hasn't.
except for Bob. So that would be Bob.
Bobby just straightens his jacket and says, "I suppose."
Also, to be fair, Elmis barely made any contact. Just walked in, took a picture, and left like a weirdo.
Well,
Hey, it worked.
I'm pretty sure at this point she's suspicious of the three of you, since you told her why you were there last time, Torpid.
Yeah, it's true. To be fair, she gave bad vibes. She gave real bad vibes.
And granted, Elmis probably doesn't know about that part.
Now, once
So
again, I
probably
did mention
Villa.
the bad vibes.
So yeah, I mean that sounds fine to me. Is like, I guess we lead in with Bobby going in.
That's
I wanted
fine
to
by
say
me.
hi.
Bobby's already prepared for this occasion.
All
Why
right.
does that worry me?
It has nothing to do with you, Cal. You needn't worry.
Don't you fucking call me cow.
Basically, it's like, well, um, probably should get going. Um, what time is your meeting?
9.
And let's just say it's like close to around then. So probably should go ahead and head over there. Um, uh, Elmis, do you mind if I take this photograph and the data? I'll give it back.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so we already, like, heads up, we already went to talk to Bibley, and Radio was the one who helped me just develop it, so they might be able to give you any more context that I can't.
Hmm. Well, I just want to take another glance at this. Um, just see what I can kind of come up with. But if not, I will give it to them, and they'll probably, if you give them enough time, they'll probably might be able to figure something out. Especially if we go meet her again.
Elmis gives a thumbs up and gets ready
And
to.
Lila kind of like, oh, you went there already. You didn't by any chance have the foresight to maybe scope the place out, maybe place a few orbs?
I think we placed an
It's
orb.
an office building.
You did. You placed one in a plant.
Yeah, we placed the camera, and it's a regular office building.
Yeah. Elma specifically placed a camera.
Yeah,
Okay.
so then. Yeah, I did place one of the orbs, so.
Okay, good. Then that might be useful for looking at later on. But for now, just have your meeting, and then we can maybe come back and intervene sometime later this afternoon or possibly some other time.
Sounds good to me.
So Lila kind of kind of takes the photo and the data and just kind of waves and kind of leaves. So you all are kind of at your choice to do kind of probably head to the meeting.
Yep.
Bobby was Lyle's ride, so he'll drive her back, and then he'll go to the meeting.
All right. So you'll all meet up at the publishing place.
Yep.
Okay. So with that, I guess you all just kind of go on your merry way, and then you all kind of by ever what device you kind of get there, you all end up at the lobby for Apex Publishing, where the office that you will be meeting up in is in. So you all are at the lobby. Do you want to kind of figure out what um how you want to tackle this?
Well, Bobby, when he shows up with a portfolio and two well-built men in hunting camouflage.
All right.
Swaggers in the door.
Okay. So just to reiterate, there's basically a front desk that's right in front of the elevator, so you can't kind of like just head to the elevator.
All
So
right.
basically it's like, hello, the Apex Publishing, do you have any business here?
Yes, I do. I'm Bobby, and I'm here and I have a meeting with management to discuss some advertising possibilities.
Okay. Basically, I'll just take it that she basically in your conversation you basically give the necessary details. Um, she just kind of looks at you and just kind of is like, okay, that's not their usual MO, but all right. Well, anyway, uh, go back to it's basically there will be a guide on the thing. It'll tell you exactly what floor you need to go to.
Thank you, ma'am. And he heads towards the elevator.
All right. So Bobby's kind of for this going alone with his two entourage.
Yeah,
I mean-
like the other three were there. He just kind of walked past them in the lobby.
All right. So in that case, how the everyone else that's there? How do you want to do this?
I think we should probably wait a little bit before
Yep.
we go
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, that's what I figured. We wait a little bit. We bring up we have a reservation, and we do the thing.
All right. So, Bobby, you are going up there essentially on your lonesome this time. Basically, you go to the floor you need to go to. You basically walk in. There is another secretary there. That basically it is a younger secretary. That basically to kind of reiterate, the room is kind of divided into two sides. One side goes to Steinwell Beat, the other one goes to another magazine.
All
So
right.
you basically walk up to the basically there's a bunch of chairs there, and also there's the desk.
Bobby walks up to the desk, says, "Howdy, ma'am.
Hello. May I ask who you need to see today?
Can you direct me to the advertising department?
Which magazine do you need to see?
Which one's the art magazine?
Steinwell Beat.
The Steinwell Beat, ma'am.
All right. That'll be door to the right. She just kind of looks at you and sees that you have basically. It's like, well, I have to get up, and they probably don't pay me enough, so I'm just gonna let them through. Um, so basically, she points you towards the door that is on your right, and then you can essentially walk in. Um, basically, you go in, and there is an open area that has a whole bunch of desks in it. And then there is to kind of your front, there is a door, there basically a closed office that has Olin's name on it. You see him standing in front of a desk that's in front of that office, which looks like what would be a secretarial thing. You see him sitting in that chair you see Olin kind of looking a little confused and looking a little kind of flummoxed. Um, he sees you walk in, and then you see him kind of stand up. He's like, uh, hey, hey there. Um, so we have a thing that I don't know exactly how to deal with at the moment. Um, you're here to meet with Sophie, aren't you?
No, sir, I'm here to meet with you.
You are.
Yes. Take me into your office or whatever. We have some
Uh,
of the business to discuss.
Um, that would be fine, except I'm in a bit of a problem right now. You see,
How
my
about this? Get a nice cup of fresh air while we discuss business.
um, sir, I am in the middle of something right now. You see, my secretary, who has been here on the dot for every day that she's worked here, is nowhere to be found.
Nowhere?
We don't know where to find her.
Huh. I see. Well, that's troublesome. But even so, let's step into this office for a second.
Okay. He kind of opens up his door and just kind of lets you in.
All right. Bobby will quick scan the room for anything that looks off.
Um, how about let's see. Um, let's why don't you do a let's just call it a what's the phrasing for it? Do an easy um perception check.
All right. It's
So that would be
cunning.
one purple
All right.
against for you. That would be
Two
two,
greens.
two greens.
All dice have canceled out.
So you kind of try to take a look, and basically you kind of scan the area, and you don't see anything particularly out of the ordinary.
All right. All right. Bobby turns to his two boys and says, "Wait outside here, fellas. I'll get you in a minute."
All right.
And he goes inside.
Okay. So right now it's you and Olin in the office. Olin's just kind of leaning on his desk, doing that thing where he puts his hand like on the desk and is just kind of leaning there, looking a little concerned.
Well, you're just a pile of jitters, aren't you?
Yeah. Uh, one, not only from a point where um I need my secretary. It's a very important thing for my job to do. Also, um, Sophie has been here kind of frighteningly on the dot, and we have not heard anything about her not being here. So I also heard from the people here that some of your team were up here yesterday?
So Bobby heard. He was not part of that operation.
I see. Well, I'm somewhat concerned because I heard that it went slightly odd. Not necessarily bad, but odd.
Oh, did one of the employees overhear what was being discussed?
Not exactly, but just from the general tone, it seemed somewhat like someone was watching it. They said it had like the energy of like two people who kind of knew each other, and one of them might have wronged the other.
That was probably the cow.
Um. Okay.
Bobby shakes his head. He walks over to Olin's desk and says, "How do I call down to the front lobby with this thing?"
It, it I kind of get confused. Let me figure it out. Basically, he kind of um goes there is like, um, I take it. Are you all here? Is your team here?
Well, I don't know. Were they there?
Yeah, we were
Yep.
there.
Yeah,
Bobby walked past you in the lobby.
Yeah, Bobby would know that they are kind of just standing there.
That's why he's calling down to the lobby.
Okay. Um. She. Or not he. She. Olin calls down to the and just says, "Hey. Is there a group of 3
Well,
kind of people?" Oh, go
Bobby
ahead.
wanted to talk to the front desk lady himself.
Okay. He kind of sees that you're looking to kind of say something. Was like, well, all right, go ahead, and he just kind of hands you the phone.
Howdy, ma'am. Is there a trio of 3 people hanging in the lobby, looking all suspicious like?
Um, you hear a pause for a second. Well, I guess.
Can you hand the phone to one of them, please?
Um, okay. One moment. She basically kind of puts on the phone. Excuse me. You folks over there.
Hello.
Yes. Uh, you got someone would like to speak to you.
Okay.
She kind of hands you the phone. You kind of basically so that you can kind of lean over the desk and talk into the phone.
It's your nickel.
Oh, the pooch has been screwed. 3 of you get on up here. We've got a situation.
Who is this?
What do you think?
I think at this point, Elmis is just he's just gonna hop the table and just start heading up to the elevator.
Well, I will thank the person at the front desk for letting me borrow their phone. I guess I'm going upstairs.
It's like she just kind of sits like, you could just like you don't have to do that. I can open the thing for you.
I will heft my heavy portfolio and bring it with me.
Yeah, Ravi is just gonna follow behind, like, yeah, whatever.
The receptionist is just kind of sitting there like, oh, okay. It looks like your friends are heading up.
Thank you, ma'am. Bobby hangs up.
All right.
And to no one in particular, just mumbles again, I missed the pirate.
All right. So Olin is like, well, I guess I take it you all are here.
They're on their way up.
All right. Olin just kind of sits there. I was like, okay. So he just kind of sits there. I take it probably wait until you all kind of get up there. You all kind of convene in his office. Because he'd want some privacy for this conversation. So basically Olin is just kind of there's like chairs in the office that you all are kind of sitting in.
I'm confused.
Bobby's standing against the wall.
If you take us into your office and close the door, who's going to receive people? There's no receptionist outside.
That's the problem, dumbass. She's
Yeah,
not here.
That's a bit of the problem. Is that my secretary is not here. And
Did she just fucking up and leave?
seems like it.
God,
Well-
I knew she was bad vibes.
Well,
so the
that
position.
goes.
Well, I was going to ask if the position is vacant now. I brought my resume.
We have a deal with the temporary agents, employment agency for the city. Unfortunately, you'll have to go through them. We don't have any say in that.
Well, I guess
I
that.
thought you hired her. Isn't she your secretary? Doesn't she work for you?
Well, we got her from that agency.
Did you call the agency and tell them she wasn't here?
Uh, we are in the middle of figuring out what the hell happened, so we have not gone to that point yet.
So Elmis
Okay.
is going to be say, "Well, that's enough evidence for I need. Yeah, something's up. Something was up with her. We took a photo and there's some weird magic energy off of her. So
Telling
there
you,
you
bad
go.
vibes. Bad vibes.
So she has bad vibes
Yeah.
and is loose, I guess now?
Maybe depends on if she's like based on the local legends. She may be some kind of trickster spirit. Maybe.
Some
That
sort of
sounds stupid.
so she might
Bobby has,
be good.
Bobby has a more likely theory. She got spooked after what happened yesterday.
Uh-huh.
He turns and looks at Iravia and says, "What exactly did happen yesterday? You said you pissed her off. What exactly did you tell her?"
I didn't tell her anything. We shook hands. She gave me a dirty look and just asked who I am. And then,
And
we
that's
kind
all.
of got into it. And may have argued a little bit. Look,
About?
who I am and who she was. I also may have let slip what our job was because I was angry.
Bobby just
Olin
rubs
is,
his temples.
yeah, Olin is kind of just rubbing his temples like, okay, so you let her know that I have people looking into her.
Look, you ever just meet someone and you just make contact and you just feel something wrong in the core of your body?
Yes,
No?
that's why I hired you.
No. I mean like physically feel it.
Don't think I quite got that, but I
Because that's what I got.
Well, pretty sure that's your answer, Olin. She's in the wind because she was told that someone was onto her.
I don't know. She seemed pretty weirded out by me. I mean,
Exactly.
everyone in the office could tell you about the argument. It wasn't exactly quiet.
so I heard.
Everyone was watching. All of them looked because they're a bunch of weird voyeurs.
You're having an argument with my secretary who wasn't doing anything in the middle of a quiet
I told you, she
publishing
snapped
thing.
at me first. I did nothing wrong. I was just retaliating.
Yep, fair enough. But
Never
we
even
do.
met her, and she was getting real accusatory.
Well, that's fine and dandy, but I am still somewhat concerned about the fact that it seems from what you were able to get from her that something is up with her. Um, she is now, if she is in fact spooked, she is spooked in a general populace that if she's some sort of trickster spirit, is out there.
Do you know
Well,
where her home is? You should have that on record.
Well, uh, that's the thing we were kind of figuring out. You see, I'm not sure exactly. I'm pretty sure none of you are familiar with how that temp agency works, but
I do.
basically,
I use them myself.
so you're familiar with the fact that we don't have, in order to kind of keep it basically, kind of in order to, I guess, protect since we don't handle their payroll essentially. Basically, the city does that for us. Um, the we don't exactly have a home address for her.
So we
So
need to go bust down some doors, is what you're saying.
well,
yeah, basically.
well, not quite yet. We think we might have some information on um basically we're at the process of essentially looking through her desk. Um we we kind of wanted to wait, but she was there on the dot. Um and we know that something's wrong.
Did
So
did she ever get angry at all on the job?
not really. She's almost like that was one of the weird things is that she was like almost robotic in the sense of like she was basically able to like she was very genial and did most tasks that she was given. Never really heard any complaints from her.
I don't know. I've never met a robot that got angry.
That is true. Um, I just think because so I think I'm just trying to think of like what I think we should probably check to see if she had anything in her desk that would be kind of give us any clue of where she was because she didn't really bring up her home life at all at the job. So I have no idea if she has, I don't know, if she has a family, who she stayed. The only the only thing I know of is that she was kind of brought into work a few times. There was a guy with her sometimes that I barely
Guy.
met him. Yeah,
I'm still a little confused. So she didn't show up for work today, and you didn't call the temp agency to tell them that.
uh, we had just it's been like 15 minutes until we figured out that something was wrong. So we're kind of in the middle of trying to process all this information.
Okay, was you could call the temp agency and tell them that she didn't show up.
We could do that. That is one thing.
I mean, that
I'm going through the desk.
yeah, that's kind of like standard procedure. I'm looking. She's only a temporary. She's not a contract employee. You could call them, tell them they should possibly contact her or her emergency contact because she might not have shown up to work today because something untoward could have happened to her, and that would be your due diligence.
Yeah, that would be. We just kind of hadn't gone to that yet.
Um, I'm I'm gonna look at Olen's desk. Does it have a phone on it?
It does.
I'm going to lift up the receiver and check to see if it has a dial tone.
What was that, DM?
I said that's how Bobby called down to the front desk was
Yep.
Owen's phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna lift it up, check to see if it works, and then I'll hand it to Olan and just look at him.
She was like, well, he's just kind of going through the motions at the moment because he's a little still kind of frazzled at the moment.
While you're doing that, Aravia's gonna head off to the secretary's desk to rummage.
Yeah,
through.
no, Elmis
Yeah.
is gonna go.
Yeah, that makes
Oh,
sense to me that you guys would go do that, but I'm gonna do the due diligence here of like, it might be that just something bad happened to her on the subway.
Doubtful.
Yeah. So Olen's like, well, okay. Olen is on the phone with essentially the temp agency.
Okay. Then I'll go outside and watch them go raid the desk.
Yep. Okay. So all three of you, or who? So who all is by the desk?
I am.
I'm going through her desk.
Bobby's going
same.
to stay in the office.
All right.
Make some phone calls himself.
I'm gonna give Olan some privacy. I'm gonna go fetch Bob's orb. Oh, sorry, Elmis's orb.
Okay. So you kind of go that. Okay. So Elmis and Iravia, the desk that she, the desk that she is, it's a fairly standard office desk. It's nothing fancy. Um, there are a couple of locked, like basically, there's like a large file cabinet, maybe like two medium-sized drawer and like a small pencil drawer. Um, do you and there is like obviously like a desk area, and there's some like a little holder that has a few cubbies in the hole, or like a few cubbies in there that some notes could go in. Also, like a Rolodex.
Yeah, I'm gonna start tearing through anything that isn't locked to see if I find anything useful.
Okay. So how about this? Just give me. Let me. Give me a medium perception check.
Okay.
Which let me double
Two
check.
purples, a yellow, and a green.
Yep, an average. So two purples, a yellow, green.
Well,
So you kind of go through and just kind of look at the desk. So you for audio purposes, you rolled 2 failures. Um, so basically, you didn't. Nothing really bad happens, but you essentially are going through the desk, and you just kind of like it's a bunch of there's a bunch of papers that are kind of you just kind of look at it, and it's a bunch of like jargon for a field that you're not familiar with. So it's a bunch of like words that you don't think it means anything. And you can't really find anything of note. Um, you Yeah, you just kind of rifle through the things and you see like you open up the pencil drawer, you see um you just kind of look and there's a bunch of like pencils and like odds and ends. You open up the drawer, like one of the smaller drawers. There's like stuff in there, but it's nothing like out of the ordinary. Um and yeah, so you just kind of look at it as like I'm not finding anything.
Okay, at this point, then Elmis is just gonna hack the computer there to see if there's any like private files or something like that.
Okay. Um how about we do this first? How about you just kind of check the computer to see if it's open?
Sure. Yes.
So you kind of poke at the computer that's on her desk. You do notice that there's a login there. So you need to basically it gives you a login prompt.
Uh, Tencent, can you get Olin to give me the admin, or at least some login, or our Sophie's login credentials?
Okay, first, have we searched the entire desk?
Not the entire desk.
Okay, I mean, let's open and look for. Usually, there's a post-it note or some kind of pad that would list their temporary login, and if we can't find that, then I'll go ask them.
Okay.
And it comes down to it, if there's anything locked left, I'll just rip it open.
So yeah, that's the thing I will say is that if there was a password or a thing that had a login, uh, Iravia would not have known what like she wouldn't have like noticed anything. It would have been kind of lost in the sea of other stuff.
It's not written on the desk plotter. Okay, I will go knock on Olin's door.
Okay. So basically, you walk in, you see he's still on the phone. You see that he's talking to the temporary agency. Like basically, he's talking with you. Kind of hear him that he's saying it's like, well, so basically, he's kind of reporting what he's found, or basically that Sophie is not here, and he's basically going through the thing. He sees a he is like, one moment. I'm like, yes.
Oh, I'm
you
not
need
going to
something?
interrupt him. I'm going to wait for him to finish. I'm personally convinced that making sure that we do the due diligence is more important than this, because I'm weird that way.
Okay. So basically, he's like, okay, he continue like his phone call. He's still going on for like a couple minutes. So if you're waiting there, you're gonna wait until he's done with his phone call, which is gonna be about 5 or 10 minutes. Um. So are you gonna wait there?
Yeah, I'll wait patiently. I got all day. I get paid by the day.
All right. So back to Elmis and Iravia. The one thing I will say, Iravia, if you or not Iravia, Elmis, if you do want to you want to take a look personally, you also can.
Sure, I'll take a look. What's the roll?
Okay, it will be an average perception check.
That'd be 2 yellows and one. Sorry, 1 yellow, 2 green, and 2 purple. Right?
2 purple, yes. And
2 successes and a threat.
that's 2 successes and 2 threats.
Let's say 2 threats.
Okay, so you go ahead and let me think about how to resolve. What do I have to so basically hmm, so basically you go in there and you do happen to find a login. Um Unfortunately, in the process of doing so, you do uh, kind of knock some papers over in a way that basically, um, kind of like basically shuffles some things around, and you didn't quite know the order that they were in. So you kind of go in and try and like basically things are going to be kind of fumbled Also, you do knock the drawer a little bit, which basically will have repercussions later.
Spooky, but I have the password, so I can just get in, right?
So you can log in. Yes.
All right, I'm gonna do that and just start looking through, do the cursory searches for anything really that might be relevant.
Okay. So do me a favor and do a. So are you just looking at the general computer?
As opposed to
At
what?
this moment, I would like to take the login information. I'm going to get on the phone and call the building's IT department.
So there really wouldn't be one.
There has
And
to be.
also-
Somehow they logged into the computer. Someone set that up.
Well,
In the 80s?
not even that. Well, yeah. Though, if you want to do who set it up, basically, um, there's just someone at the basically you would go in and say, "Hey, I need to go in the computer." So basically, they have a computer person there, like person who just does the computers.
Okay, I'm making an assumption here. If this is a modern computer, then they have set up spyware to spy on all of the computer activity that was going on this computer.
It is not a modern computer.
No, it's like 70s.
Yeah. This
Okay,
is the
well
70s.
then, all right, my plan's over. I was just going to ask. Okay, let's just use the IT spyware to call up the entire history. It's like, no.
There is no spyware at this point.
Okay, yeah, we're not at that stage.
I don't even know if I don't even think this computer is networked.
Wow. Okay.
If anything, it is like an incredibly rudimentary network that might be connected to like maybe the computers that are in this room.
It's a token ring. Yay.
Oh
Yeah.
God, no.
So yes, you can get in the computers. Basically, are you trying to like spy or anything? Are you trying to like find anything encrypted or anything?
We're gonna search for the encryption first.
So basically so if you're gonna do that, I need you to do I need you to check skullduggery.
All right, that's 3 yellows on my end. And against what?
You know, I was gonna say, except for since you're doing computers, I'm gonna have you do that against intellect. But both your intellect and your cunning are 3, so it does not matter. So basically, that is going to be 3 yellows versus let's just say, you know what? Let's be spicy a little bit and let's go say hard.
So 3 purples,
So 3 purples.
1 failure, and 3 advantages.
So that being said, so you find so basically you don't find any, like, you go in and you see some locked passwords and you just kind of try and figure out your ways, like you're kind of you try and do like your like, okay, here are the common passwords and all that. You basically do very base level stuff and you just can't get into any of it. However, um you don't find any kind of secret things, but you do just kind of have a better understanding of how their computer structure works. Um, so if you were wanting to, you do have access to things like, say, um, the planner, but basically you have access to the things that you would do, like scheduling, for example, and
Okay.
basically notes that she put in.
Then we're gonna open that up and let's start reading.
Um, so basically, you are going to, you just kind of want to go in and check to see that kind of stuff. That case, I need you to do essentially another perception check. Uh, how about you're going to do a average perception check? I'm going to give you a boost die for that though, because of your
All right.
advantage.
That works for me. 3 successes and an advantage.
All right. So you kind of go through the computer and you take a look at the planning, and you don't see anything particularly out of the ordinary. Um, except you do see notes for you are able to check the notes that she put in, and you see that there are some there are some notes kind of towards the end of the day on certain days, and you see something along the lines of you see notes that essentially say Martin's late. Right? Or something's like Martin late, wait at this locate like wait uh be at bus station at this time instead of this time. Um
All right, so he's gonna. All right, Elmis is gonna tell Iravia, and if Tacent's back, we have a possible point of contact. Some guy named Martin.
Okay.
Martin. That's the name that we should burn into our memories.
It sure is the name.
And you're saying she has Does she have some address listed, or just like the bus station?
basically it's kind of a reminder to say that hey, Martin is going to be late, so just basically as like a hey, my appointment, like basically it's an appointment reminder. Essentially, they're like, oh, they're going to be late this day, so I need to account for that.
Okay.
You don't see like a date or anything. Just you know that there is someone named Mark that looks um that is towards the end of the day.
Would he be? Would we be having seeing Martin today by any chance, happenstance?
You don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. We just saw the one message.
Okay.
Actually, how about this? You noticed in this, since you basically succeeded highly, you notice that in this thing, this planning thing, it actually is able to associate contacts to meetings, and
Ooh.
you happen to notice that this contact is very sparsely populated compared to everyone else. Like everyone else, like you kind of can click on like a work thing. You see basically office address, fax address, or fax, basically a bunch of like business details. You happen to notice for Martin's that it is basically um a you see a phone number or a work phone number, and basically the address is you just see a number. Like it's not an address, it's a number. But you do see a work phone and a home phone.
All right. I was gonna write both of those down and get ready to call from. Find somewhere to call that from.
So are there any locked drawers on the desk?
Uh as there happens to be, there are two.
Yeah, can I just rip them open? Just fucking break that desk.
I I suppose you could.
I'm going to.
Uh okay.
Subtlety is
Give
a tool of cowards and cheats.
uh give me a brawl check for let's see. Wait, hold on. Let me just double check to see. It doesn't really matter. Give me a just give me a brawl check. Uh, on let's just say average. So
Okay.
2.
Whoops. I almost fucked up that roll.
You open it. You kind of like do the jiggle first. And it just happens to open flawlessly. Actually, basically, what had happened was basically when Carnival or when Elmis was kind of jiggling around, something got stuck, kind of wedged in itself to make it a little hard to open. But you just kind of like jiggle a little bit and shake it back, so you just kind of open it. The lock is kind of broken, but you didn't like damage anything in the drawer. Um, so you have the drawers open, and from a cursory kind of just look in, you see a bunch of just papers in there, basically that are all filed in various folders.
Okay.
Um, if you want to take a deeper look in there, that would be probably a let's call that an average perception check.
Okay. Actually, mind if I burn a story point just to improve my rolls?
Go
Go
for it.
ahead.
Yep,
Sure.
okay, that goes this way.
There you go.
Um,
Okay.
so you kind of uh so basically you kind of go through it. You don't find anything out of the ordinary. Um, but however, as you kind of go through, you kind of sort it a little bit to try and help you figure it out. So that if the next person who wants to go through it, could do it a little bit easier.
Elmis
So,
will go ahead and
nudge,
take.
nudge.
Elmis will go ahead and do it. Do the
all right.
thing,
So it's same perception check. You will have a boost die though.
and it's average.
It is, yes, it is average.
Are you?
So that was a net. Not there's a net nothing.
Yo, Carnival, what the fuck?
I have no idea.
So you go through and
Shit
basically
happens.
you see a bunch of legal like basically you kind of go through and you just see it's a bunch of legal jargon that you kind of can't parse anything from. So the drawers that are locked did not have anything that useful for you.
God damn, we need like a third person now. Killing me. Carnival, how do you fuck that up?
I don't know.
Well, so it's that what are actually what we probably should do. Bobby, what are you doing at this point?
Well, Bobby was deliberately listening in on Owen's phone call to the agency.
Okay.
I don't want to put the phone on speaker if the phone has that. Otherwise, he was just listening in.
Okay. So basically, at that point, we'll just say, in the time it takes you to do all this, you basically, you all basically it's his things. Owen's phone call is done. So I guess Bobby and Tacent are, I guess, waiting for him to finish.
Sort of. Bobby's. Well, we'll see. Depends on what happens on the phone call.
So basically, the gist of what happened on the phone call, basically they notified the temp agency was notified is like, okay, we'll keep an eye out. We did not hear anything from her either. So right now, since it's only a day, we're not gonna really. We'll keep a note on it, but it's not like we'll like do anything like disciplinary at this point. She might just be ill. We do have. We will try to make contact with her with the contacts that we have available.
At that point, Bobby will ask for the receiver.
All right, and Olin hands it to you.
Bobby says, "Howdy. Is Yusef Gerald there? I've worked with him before."
I uh uh I don't think you've rolled at all. Or have you rolled yet today?
I have when I examined the
Oh.
office.
Oh right. Let's see. Why don't hold on.
When has it ever stopped you?
Can you um I'm trying to figure out what this would be.
Probably nothing. Is Yusef there or not? Would be the question.
She was like, "Well, I can check. May I ask who are you?"
Tell him Bobby's asking.
Oh, okay. Basically, you kind of hear is like, one moment, please, and you basically go on hold. Is like, um, you hear for a little bit. Is like, sir, I'm going. Hmm. You know what? We'll do this. Who are you looking for again?
Yusef Gerald's just the guy that Bobby deals with for the agency.
Okay. Let's just say that yeah, basically you are rerouted and he is on the line. Yes, Yusuf.
Hey,
This
Yusef,
is
it's Bobby.
oh, hello.
Listen, I need you to do something for me.
No, what's that?
I need you to file for a secretary position at my junkyard.
All right.
Specific young lady I'm interested in. Name of Sophie. What was her last name?
Brown.
Sophie
Well,
Brown.
so the thing I would say about that is that she's still listed as working there. So she wouldn't be like they can't like say, okay, you're essentially off the job off of one day. So she's still by the
Didn't get a
temps.
contract.
within contract.
Okay.
I mean, you could still put the listing because if it's a spirit, who might just be trying to find a new cover. So,
But the thing is though is that the Sophie Brown position is still there. It's still there, whether or not she is actually still in your eyes still using it. There's not really much you could do at that point to try
In the
and
system,
on
she's
that
still
thing.
employed by the agency.
Well, see, the thing is, Bobby's really trying to set up a meeting with her somewhere.
Yeah, but I think the point is they frown on headhunting.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
All right, fine.
Okay. So we'll just have it that basically once Olin was off the phone, we'll just kind of go at that, and basically Olin kind of hangs up the phone. He's like, "Well, they're trying to get in contact with her, but they can't really do anything about it other than try and get in contact with her. They will let me know if they're able to get in contact with her. So if we want to get a hold of her ourselves, we're gonna have to do some work."
I mean, at this point, I guess Elmis will walk in. Is like, I've got some phone numbers for some person named Mason that it seemed like Sophie had some contact with.
Mason. Oh, do you
Martin.
Martin?
Martin.
I think that's the guy that she's come in with and has mentioned that she's waiting for him. You said that you got a couple phone numbers?
Yeah, Elmis will take the just the whatever they wrote the thing on, just like put them down. It's like we have two numbers, one a work for number and a home number. So
Okay. Owen just kind of looks at it as like, okay, that looks well, just from what I can tell, okay, so it looks like the home address is outside of the city. Looks like to
wait,
be
there was an address or
like think of it like an area code.
okay.
So it's like, okay, it looks like the area code is like, all right, area code, not quite remember that one. Looks like it's out of the city. It does look like that work one looks like that's Hazeltown. Um, we can
Yeah, I'm on
try.
the phone.
Sure.
All right, so Bobby's gonna call the work number.
All right. You call the phone. You basically hear basically it rings. Then after like a thing, it's like, uh, crap. Hold on. Let me check something real quick. Let me just check to see what do I have it written down? Does not have a name. Let's try. Um, hmm. I shouldn't have had the fancy name generator up. Hold on. Let me get you a name. Place names. Are you going to be lucky? Let's see. Not. Let's see. How's there not arcade names? Where are you? What can I use? Not Magic School. Let's do this. Okay, just a side note. I clicked on Plaza name generators. One of them is Execution Plaza.
Amazing.
To be fair,
That's
I've
where
been
they're
down a
doing
Nooseneck
headings.
Road, so whatever.
Yeah.
People name it after all kinds of shit.
Okay. Sure. How about this? After like a ring, you hear, yes, this is White Blossom Market. May I help you?
Bobby will just immediately hang up.
Okay.
Work phone number goes to One White Plaza Market.
Okay. It's like, okay. So he works at White Blossom Market.
It's another lead, at least.
So yes, we are, yeah. So basically you have a White Blossom Market and you also have, White Blossom Market, not just White Market. White Blossom Market and a phone number that does not go anywhere.
at the moment.
Yeah, at the moment.
Yep. And we
So you
also
have a
a
name-
bus stop meeting place.
I'm starting to get concerned if this is something to even be involved in. I mean, it's not like she's committed any crimes or anything, and she's only a temporary employee.
Yeah, the thing. Well, Olin just. I take it that Olin's kind of with you, and basically says, "Well, the thing is that if she is some sort of creature, she's now frightened somewhere."
Well, yeah, but that's obviously she would want her own privacy. I'm not sure why we're not like any kind of health professionals or occultist professionals. Is it really our office to interfere in her personal affairs?
Bobby just kind of looks at Tacent and says, what do you think we're doing here exactly?
I think somebody didn't feel like showing up for work today or answering the phone, and we're invading their privacy.
And I think people don't usually get spooked and run after they've been told they've been spied on.
Yeah, like if it was something like that, Olsen here would be facing a lawsuit. And since he's clearly not, this is something we should probably just be double checking just in case.
So if you didn't feel like showing up for work, you'd want a team of 4 or 5 individuals to call you and track you down.
I mean, if I didn't show up for work and people came around, that would mean I've either died from overwork of some experiment going wrong, or some experiment has gone wrong, and I'm busy getting people to help me stop it from destroying the city.
And I have 3 different businesses that I have to run at all times. If I went missing, that would be a huge damn problem.
Okay, so Iravia's gonna butt in and just go, so Olin, how curious are you? Because if you want to pay extra, we'll handle this.
He just kind of does the thing where he puts his like hands in front of his, does a little like prayer kind of thing, like just like the fingers in front of the mouth. You know, if I were smart, I would cleanse my hands of this. I would just say I'm getting over in my head, and I would just see. Hopefully she comes back because she was a good secretary, and just kind of forget this all ever happened. Because really, at least I know that I am not on my own. She didn't seem to want to hurt anyone while she was here, but I put this air of knowing that I know a lot of stuff. I am a very good mind when it comes to art, but maybe not when it comes to common sense. He kind of looks at Iravia. You want extra pay, you got it.
Okay, contact Theron about the contract, talk it over with him, and we'll get on it.
Thank you for listening to Hazeltown Story. If you would like to get updates on this show and many other shows hosted by me, LoloDePuzlo, you can follow at Hazeltown Story on Twitter, and if you would like to get to know me more from a personal standpoint, you can follow my personal Twitter at LoloDePuzlo. If you would like to watch this be recorded live, you can go to twitch.tv/LoloDePuzlo and follow the channel for notifications of when this show, as well as other shows like Retro Rank Rhapsody, are being recorded. If you would like to add this podcast to your podcatcher of choice, you can search for WLDP Hazeltown Radio and find us on most major podcatching search engines. Or you can manually add rss.hazeltown.life to your podcatcher. Thank you for listening, and I hope you come around for the next episode.